Hi friends, good evening. Welcome to Venpras Tech Talks. In this tutorial, we are going to study a very interesting topic that is JavaFX. Okay, so what is JavaFX? So JavaFX is a framework provided by Java for developing desktop-based applications. Okay, so Java is a powerful programming language that is used for creating different type of applications. When I say different type of applications, we have mobile applications, web applications, and desktop applications. Okay, mobile applications like say for example, if you are using any Android device and if you want to create any Android app, then you can use Java as a programming language for creating the Android applications. Now, when I say web applications, all your applications like Swiggy, Zomato, and other websites where you want to create web-based applications, then we'll go for Java, Spring, and Spring Boot applications. Now, when it comes to the desktop applications, what is desktop application? Desktop application is nothing but like say for example Eclipse, your Eclipse ID, NetBeans ID, or calculator in your machine. So these are nothing but standalone applications that you will be installing in your local machine and you will be working with them. Okay. Now, if you want to create such kind of applications using Java, then one of the best framework that you can use is JavaFX. Now, what is the greatness of this JavaFX is it is bundled inside the Java itself. So you don't need to install any external softwares and all. If you have the Java installed in your machine, right away you can start with JavaFX because it comes bundled in the Java. Okay. Now, what is the prerequisite? Now, since we know that JavaFX uses Java language, so you should have a minimum knowledge, like not advanced logics and all. So the minimum basics, like what is a class, how to create an object, how it is interface, what is class inheritance. So what are the OOPS concepts? If you are no familiar with this kind of concepts, you are good to go with JavaFX development. Okay. So that is the prerequisite for this course. I hope you people are aware of Java. So I'm proceeding further. Okay. Now here, when I want to run my create my JavaFX applications in my machine, I need certain softwares to be installed. As I told earlier, JavaFX needs to run using Java. So first and foremost important thing is you need to have a Java installed. So nowadays the minimum version preferred for JavaFX is Java 11. Okay, so if you have Java 11, you are good to go. Now we are going to create a Maven based applications. See, we have a standalone application also we can create, but the best approach for developing any application is Maven based applications because we can extend with some other features. So if you want to create a Spring Boot application, we can use Maven. If you want to integrate your JavaFX application with a Hibernate, you can do so using the Maven application. So instead of you adding dependencies to your applications directly, you can use Maven for handling those dependency actions. Okay, so if you have to work with JavaFX, you need to have a minimum knowledge on Java and a little bit understanding what is Maven, how it works on that. Okay, now to run your application, you need these two things, Java 11 and Maven. Now to create these applications, you need some IDEs. Okay, now what is an preferable IDE is IntelliJ or NetBeans because they have inbuilt scene builder. Scene builder is nothing but it is a user interface for creating the JavaFX UI layer. Okay, now if you don't want have IntelliJ or NetBeans, no worries, you can use Eclipse also. But the problem with Eclipse is it don't have internal support for creating the user interfaces and all. You need to have to install Scene Builder separately. Okay, if you use IntelliJ or NetBeans, they come up with the inbuilt plugins for creating the user interface. But if you want to go for Eclipse, you need to have a Scene Builder in place. Okay. Now for this demo, I will show you how to use the Eclipse and I will show you how to use Scene Builder for creating the UI and Eclipse for writing the logic. Okay. Now Scene Builder, I have shared the URL in the PPT. You can go through it. I will pin in the comments also the URL for downloading the Scene Builder. You can go to the website and you can download it. So let me quickly go to this. Okay, so in this URL, if you go, then you will find a list of various versions of JavaFX scene builder available. You can download accordingly. I have already installed in my machine, so you can also go ahead and have it installed in your machine. It's just direct installation only. Okay. Okay, now with the introduction done, So let us see how we will create one desktop application. See, for example, if you are creating, consider I'm going to create one JavaFX employee management system. This is my application I'm going to develop. Now user has to interact with my application. Okay, I have user, I want to use my application. Okay, now I need to provide one user interface to him. Why? Because he cannot write the code and all, right? So you need a user interface. So in JavaFX we use something called fxml files. Okay, XML file is used for creating user interface. Make a note, fxml files are used for creating graphical user interface in JavaFX. For which purpose? If the user want to access my application, he want to interact with my application via user interface. For this, what we'll do in JavaFX, we have something called fxml. So this fxml is used for creating graphical user interface. Now we have something called, say for example, for this employee management system, I want to save the data of employee name and salary. Okay, I want to save the data of employee name and salary. Where we'll save? We'll be saving somewhere in the database. So database is a permanent storage location where we'll store the employee data inside employee table. Okay, clear? Now we have a user interface and we have a database where user will enter the data inside the user interface using the graphical user interface. Now the data should be saved or persisted in the database table, that is that employee table. Now how will this data will be stored inside the database? We need one middleware, right? Here comes the controller. So what is the use of controller class? Controller class mainly provide a bridge or communication between your user interface and database. Okay, so we need three things. One is graphical user interface, another one is service layer where we'll have the logic to handle the business validations. Once all validations are passed, then we'll send it to the persistence layer. This kind of architecture we will call it as model view controller. Okay, what is model? Model is nothing but database. View is nothing but your user interface. The controller is nothing but the one which will provide the communication. Clear? So this is how your application works. You need to have a user interface where user provide user input, and controller will be a part of communication between your database and your user interface. Okay. Now let us create one simple hello world application to show how to create this one. Okay, so these are the dependencies. As I told earlier, we are going to create a Maven project, and these are the dependencies that are need to be added to your application. Okay, let us start implementing this. Okay, now I have my Eclipse here, so let me delete this. Okay, so let me create starting. So if I go to file, new project, here you have to select the Maven project. Inside Maven project, click on next. Let us create one simple project. Let's not add so many dependencies and all. Let's start with a simple project. Okay, let me click on next. Now I will give the group ID as venpass.tech, artifact ID as javafx-intro. Okay, enough. These two details. Group ID venpass.tech, artifact ID javafx-intro. You can add whatever you want. So for my application, I'm going to use these things. Okay, now click on finish. So it will create my javafx-intro project inside my Eclipse. Now if you see, we have the Java per controller part and resources for handling our fxml files. Okay, now if I want to work with my Java fxml, I need to add the dependencies. So open pom.xml. Let us copy paste those dependencies. Okay, so give it some time to get those dependencies installed. Okay, now let me see if these are installed. Yes, these are created. Okay, my initial setup is completed. What I have done, I have created a project and I have added the dependencies. Okay, now my project is ready. Now what is the first step? Let us create one main class, new file. Sorry, right click on Java file, new class. I will name it as main class I'll place it in the folder package WinPros.tech. Good. Okay. Now this is not a Java application. Okay, whatever I'm going to create is a Java FX application. So how will I differentiate between a normal Java class and a Java FX application is I need to extend this main class with a class called application. You need to extend your main class with extends Java fx.application.application. Okay. Now this is not a Java application. Whenever the compiler comes to run this main class, what it will see, this will see whether what is the type of this application. This is not a Java application. It will be Java FX application. Okay. Now whenever I extend this one, what it will ask is it will ask me to add an unimplemented method. What is that? That is called start. Start method is used for starting your Java FX application. Okay. Now what is a stage? Okay. Now say for example, this is my PowerPoint, right? So this is my PowerPoint. If you see on the outside, we will have some close buttons, minimize, maximize and all. So this is called one window. Okay, this is called one window. So if you see the Java FX screen architecture, if you see Java FX screen architecture, first what we'll have is, so you will have something called stage. The outer layer is called stage or window. Okay, stage is nothing but your window where you will have minimize button, maximize and close buttons. Okay, now inside stage, inside this, if you see inside stage, what we will have is you will have something called layout, or we'll call this layout as scene. Okay, so this window will be fixed. Inside this window, what we'll do is we will move in and out the scenes and all. Okay, so inside this scene, you can have a button. You can add buttons. You can add buttons. You can add label, checkbox, radio button, etc. Whatever you want to create. Say for example, if you want to create the form which I showed earlier, you can create the form inside the screen. Okay, so this is our Java FX architecture. You will have a main window. Inside main window, we will call this window as stage. Inside stage, you will have a scene. Scene is nothing but the original screen. So where you will have buttons, forms, everything and all. Okay, so stage is fixed. So inside stages, you will have different scenes. Okay. Now here, let us see here the start method. You will have one main stage, that is main window. Okay, so stage is fixed. Inside stages, you will move the scenes and all. Okay, clear. Now we have to create one scene. Okay, now scene is nothing but it is having some forms and all. Now already I told you like what is the graphical user interface. We will use the fxml file. So this fxml file is nothing but our scene. Okay, now let us create our first fxml file. So where to create the fxml file is src main resources. Inside src main resources, you need to create one file. So I will name it as hello world dot fxml. Simple. I have created one fxml. So this will open in the scene builder. So this is the one I am saying, the scene builder. Okay, so here this is a scene builder. I will explain you later in the coming stages what it is and what and all different components available. So for now, just think. So this Java fxml file will be edited inside the scene builder. Scene builder use it for creating the graphical user interface in Java FX. Okay, so let me drag and drop one anchor pane, and inside this I will just show one label. Welcome to WinPros tech talks. So let me make it center. Okay. Welcome to WinPros Tech Talks. Okay. Now my scene is ready. Okay. Now whenever I run this application, I need to open a window and I want to show this message. Welcome to WinPros Tech Talks. Now let us see. Here my hello world fxml file is created. Now I want to load this. Whenever I run this application, I need to load the message saying welcome to WinPros Tech Talks. Okay. Now how will I do that? So I need to create one fxml loader instance. So fxml loader is used for loading the fxml file into my application. So how will I do? Equal to new fxml loader. So here it has to read the file where it is, which file you want to load. So it is available in the resource folder. So how to get the resource path files? So like this. So class name dot get resource. So what is that? Get resource hello world dot fxml. Okay, so my loader is ready. So what is fxml loader? Fxml loader is nothing but it is a reader which will read the contents inside the file. So when I run this application, when I run this JavaFX application, I need to load load the screen that is available inside the hello world fxml file. Okay, now what I have to do? I have to create one scene. Scene is nothing but the one which will be rendered inside our primary stage. So new scene. So here what I have to do? I have to give loader dot load. Okay, loader dot load will give me the what is that? It will be converting that entire fxml, right? Fxml file, and it will create one instance for it. Okay, now I want to load that one into the scene. Okay, now I have to attach this scene to the primary stage. Okay, primary stage dot set scene. So what is the scene? The scene which I have created, I have to assign. Now what I have to do? I have to show this. Done. Okay, so I have first step. What I have to do? I have to create a project, add the dependencies, then create one main class. Inside main class, you have to extend that main class with a application. Why we have to extend that application? Because we are not developing a Java application, we are developing a Java FX based application. To indicate that, what I have to do? I have to extend my main class with extends application. Now when I do that, it will ask me to override a method called start method. It will provide the main stage. Okay, the first stage that is loaded inside my machine. Whenever I run my application, this primary stage will be loaded. Now as I told you earlier, every stage will have one scene attached. Scene is nothing but a scene will have the fxml data. Fxml is nothing but the one which is used for creating our graphical user interface. Okay, now what I have done? I have loaded the contents available in the hello world fxml file. Now I have attached this loader to the scene. Now I have attached this scene to the primary stage, and what I am doing? I am doing this show method. Okay, everything is done. Now the thing is, whenever you run any Java application, first what it will do? It will check for the main method. What is the main class? Main class is nothing but the class which is having the main method. Now let us have the main method. Now what I have to do? I have to call the start method. Okay, so you cannot directly call the start method. Why? Because start is nothing but it is just to intimate that okay, when you run this application, you have to load the file from resource folder. What is that file? Hello world.fxml. And after loading this file, attach that file content to a scene. Okay, attach that file content to a scene. Okay, now this scene is created. Now once scene is created, attach this scene to the stage. Done. Now what happens? Now everything is ready. Now it is similar to our thread concept. Thread is nothing but whenever there is something called thread pool, we will be pushing all our processes. Whenever the thread pool is thread is ready to execute, it will be converted. Okay, now what I will do, similarly here we have lot of screens available, right? All the screens cannot be loaded one by one. Whenever it is called, it will be loaded. Okay, now how to call this one is, we should not call the start method. Instead, what we have to do is, we have to call the launch method. So launch method is available in application. If you go inside application, you can see launch. So this launch method is used for launching your application. You should call this method, not the start method. Okay, inside main method, you should call launch of aux. Okay, so what it will do, it internally will take care of the setup, everything, and it will create a window, everything's graphical user interface, everything will be created and it will be loaded. Now let me run my application now. Okay, now why it is coming, what is the error it is coming is, I wanted to show this error, that is why I have kept like that. Okay, so why, what is happening is, main class dot get resource. Okay, get resource is nothing but it is a path. Here it will take relative path. Okay, so whenever you give this one, you have to give with slash. Okay, just keep in mind that. Now let me run again. So our application is done. Okay, so this is our window. Okay, inside the window I have the message, welcome to Venpass Tech Talks. Okay, now if I want to add a title, I can add it like this: Venpass Tech Talks. Okay, see here, the title is updated with Venpass Tech Talks. Okay,